Right, and that's our last grid of paper. So what's next, BJ?
Next is blow and poly.
So next we're going to apply some boiled linseed oil, or blow.
Or whichever.
So what we're going to do is we're going to rub some of this on while we turn it. A couple of things about this. See how it makes that grain just really pop? It also cleans it. So what I like to do is do what PJ just did, which is just rub it on there. And I like to rub it on a few parts on one side of my cloth, and then I'll come back and use the other side for kind of a final cleaning, like so. So now we can see our pen's looking pretty nice. Do kind of a last minute check, make sure there's not any weird tool marks or anything that we missed. Now, one thing I will say, sometimes you look at something and you think it's a tool mark, but it's just the wood. And that's the way wood is sometimes. Other things you should know. We are using paper towels. You should always use paper towels because you don't want to use a cloth because it might get caught on the lathe and that could be dangerous. Also, when you're done with this, make sure that it dries thoroughly before you throw it away, because boiled linseed oil will actually heat up as it dries, and there's a small chance you could start a fire in your shop, and you probably don't want that. So we're now ready for the final finish. So now, for our final finish, we're going to use this. Mylan's high build friction polish. Now, this is not the only option. If you talk to many people that make pens, they'll tell you what their favorite option is. This one's pretty popular. Actually, for a lot of my pens, I like to just use standard wipe-on polyurethane instead of this. I like the more satin finish, but I think that sometimes this works better for some pens, especially if you have a little bit of a grain and you want it to feel a little bit smoother than it would if you just use polyurethane. So it's pretty easy to put on. You pretty much just, again, using a paper towel, put it on, and then you can buff it by friction. So if you put a dry part of your paper towel onto the pen as it's turning, then you can make it shinier. So I'll show you how that looks. So what do you think, BJ?
Nice.
How does it feel? Smooth? Think she'll like it?
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're ready to assemble our pen. Alright, so now we are ready to go ahead and assemble our pen. I went ahead and took it off the lathe. And I like to keep it together. And then I like to take it off and put it down in the correct order. Now, different people have different ways of doing this. I like to do the top first. So I'll get the cap, and I'll get the clip. I'll line it up here. Now you can get fancy pen presses, or you can just use a quick clamp, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it in my quick clamp, line it up, and squeeze it together. And now I want to put the tip on, same kind of process. Put it in, grab my quick clamp. You have to be be a little bit careful as you're squeezing this in to make sure it's lining up like that. It did. Okay, last part to press in. Now you have this part, it's called a transmission, and that will let you move the ink in and out. So normally there's a line, so you want to line it up to this line when you push it in. But you always want to double check because it's hard or next to impossible to pull this out. So I like to do this. I like to make sure that that's not too far in if I go to the line. I want to make sure I can fully retract my pen as well. And that looks pretty good there, which it usually does. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever had this not be a problem, but it only takes a couple seconds to check it. I think I said that back. I never had it be a problem yet. So last check. My pen is fully engaged and it's fully retracting. All right, so I take the little band, put it here like so, and there we have it. We have an actual pen. So that's all for this episode of
2 Phillips,
2 Shopsmiths. So what did we learn on this episode, PJ? We learned how to make
a pen.
A pen. So we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time when we do another exciting project. So remember, what are our 3 rules, PJ?
Be safe, have fun, and make something useful.
Awesome. See you later.